you tell us a little bit about these new entries in the Norton series?
Yeah, well, there's only one new entry actually. The development of the making of a therapist came out in I think 2004,
Yep.
and with for years I've been thinking about writing. There were all of these bits and bobs that I didn't include in that in the making of a therapist because I thought they went a little too far for what I wanted to write. That book was really sort of a survival guide, like you put it in your pocket when you go into the jungle, and if you need to figure out how to start a fire without matches. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
that book was sort of like. So there's nothing changed in that book, but I think it must have been some sort of a marketing ploy to repackage it and to put it out with the new book, hoping that hoping that it gives it some momentum. But I'm happy to say that The Making of a Therapist, of all the books I've written, is the one that continues to that continues to be adopted to education programs, and it seems just about every week I get an email or I run into someone now online who said that they used that book in their program and they found it really helpful. So yeah, of all the work that I've done, I think that may be like the smile of the Cheshire Cat. That might be the one that remains after all of the other books go out of print and go into the used bins,
Right.
at the rubbish stores. But the like I said before, there were lots of bits and bobs and things that I wanted to expand upon. So the development of the therapist is sort of the next step. Another way, I took some of the principles and moved them forward and expanded them. So if hopefully that book will have as a similar impact to the prior one, and they'll be adopted maybe for the second year of a training program
I think
using.
they make, yeah, great,
Yeah.
great companions, and I think,
Mhm.
the making of a therapist is the perfect precursor to the development of a
Yeah,
therapist.
I think so too. Because it was a good. I mean, I think it's a terrific book, Making a Therapist, and I mean, there's two good things about it. One, that it's just beautifully written and insightfully derived, and I'm not sure about the second one. It's the fact that it's still so relevant.
Mhm.
But it means the training programs we've got are still very still bring people to the jungle without the fire lit yet. So
Mhm.
they do need this. But then this beautiful thing of the developing therapist. Okay, once you've got in the jungle and you lit your fire, that's not it, boys, girls.
Mhm.
There's something more. So this idea of the developing, and it's not just development, it's developing this, present continuous.
Right.
A little bit there. How much does a therapist need to develop? Could you just expand a little bit on this framework of developing?
Mhm. Well, I think probably the background for this is that therapy has become less and less. I'm not exactly sure the right words are, but it's become less and less professional and more paraprofessional, and also more technique based as opposed to knowledge based. And so how students are being taught now is not really a broad foundation of the field and a broad notion of the human brain and mind and the various ways the various paths to Rome that you can take in order to get there and to help people. I guess maybe it's just the publishing business, the seminar business. All of these things seem to be based on particular technique, on
Mm,
techniques.
mm.
And so, what the students find themselves in the dilemma of running from pillar to post, trying to gather. It's sort of like an egg hunt. They're gathering all of these certifications and all of these books and all of these manuals,
Yep.
trying to figure out how to learn everything so that they can be a therapist. But there's really no definition about what it means to be a therapist, right? It's all about just learn everything you can and learn every technique possible. And I even see this in the doctoral programs and in the master's programs that you would think would have a deeper sense of understanding of the field. but they really don't. So in my biased view is that the training has devolved to the point where students get out into practice and they don't know how to swim. And so they grab onto whatever weekend workshop serves as a life preserver, and they just do that to everybody. Okay, I did an EMDR training, or I did, you name it. I mean, there's the alphabet soup of a million different training programs. But when I have students or I have people who are in practice approach me for supervision, it becomes clear that they don't have any guiding principles of what therapy is or how to do it, right? And also they know this or that technique, but it's almost like only having 2 or 3 stones in a vast mosaic. They always feel lost and disoriented. And so I think, the purpose of the books that I'm writing, and I'm working on a book now that it isn't even clear that anyone wants to publish it, but it really is it's not about the technique of doing trauma therapy. It's about understanding trauma, like deeply understanding it and understanding the biology of it, the psychology of it, the neuroanatomy of it, and then looking at all the different ways you can treat it. And then, based on that foundation, making a treatment decision based on a conceptualization. But that's very old-fashioned, and I'm not sure enough people are interested in that going forward to where that's going to be the model of psychotherapy.
Wow, you say that's old-fashioned. I mean, I would have thought that is the way of the future, and so it's very sobering what you're saying, because I was hoping that you would say that education is now going down this path of now educating our people in deep knowledge of the system, so that then they can swim, like you say.
Yeah.
But
it could be. Again, I'm sitting in Los Angeles, and I'm sitting in the United States, so I'm looking at the world from this perspective.
Right.
I would love to be wrong about this. And so if you're having a different perspective from where you are, that's wonderful. And then I'll just publish in Australia, New Zealand from there.
Thank you for tuning in to the Science of Psychotherapy. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell so that we can reach more people and bring you more Science of Psychotherapy. And if you're a mental health professional, check us out at thescienceofpsychotherapy.com.